Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome in the fifth week, first part of this unit. That is the lecture 1. I hope you all are fine enough. Stay safe, stay blessed. This is Dr. Ijaz Ahmed Atla, and we are with the course Instructional Leadership and Program Evaluation. Here in today's title is Basic Supervisory Skills. It's the first part of this basic supervisory skill. Let's know here who are supervisors. In the system of education, and I will be talking about the mainstreams. There are 3 layers of school education system: elementary, secondary, and tertiary. Accordingly, elementary and secondary education, that is directly belongs to school education department, and wherein tertiary education system, there are colleges and universities. All the people working in the capacity of section head, deputy headmaster, headmistress, vice principal, principal, director, chairman of the department, are likewise in any position, are known as the supervisors of that very much institution. There are some responsibilities of all these supervisors. They have to analyze budgets. They have to allocate supplies to the employees and relevant offices. As far as teaching and learning system is concerned, they too have to determine the teaching schedules and many of the relevant tasks. They have to handle them. So most importantly, I must say, supervisor have to set the tone of their workplace, as they have to handle the student discipline issues, evaluate the work of teachers, and also they have to communicate regularly with the parents, with the department, with their juniors, and towards their seniors. So at the same time, they are directing, they are reporting, and they are communicating with the society about the activities going on in the institution, productivity of that institution, a reputation of that institution, and quality as well. For this purpose, when I discuss about the school education system, specifically the elementary level, it's very necessary the supervisors are needed to have some sort of experience, that is at least 3 years working as a teacher. Then they are offered the supervisory positions in the public department. As far as their qualification is concerned, they are not less than holding a master's degree. So the relevant master's degree and experience make them to qualify for any of the supervisory position. There are different characteristics which are necessarily any of the supervisor have to observe. These necessary characteristics embedded in supervisor are communication skills. It is necessary because the supervisor during whole of his official life and hours all the time is communicating to his higher ups, his juniors, students, teachers, parents of the students, and society at large. So his or her communication skills should be up to mark. Loyalty is another characteristic of a supervisor. Without loyalty, production of that institution cannot be triggered off. Moreover, the reputation and quality of any of the institution and efficiency of the team depends upon the positive attitude of supervisor. Moreover, a good characteristics of a good supervisor is desire for the job. When the people have some desires, they work efficiently and resultantly the proficiency and quality of the institution is raised. Another characteristics necessary for a supervisor is ability to delegate. Why needed to delegate? Because the supervisors have to decentralize his authorities, his uh, working in his working routine. Because in an institution, not a single supervisor to do all the things. Therefore, he or she have to work with his team, and for him, it's necessary he should be able to delegate to his work group. Fairness is an other characteristics of a supervisor that plays a vital role towards efficiency of supervisor as well as the institution. General functions of a supervisor. Being a supervisor, a person have to plan and float the ideas, organize those ideas, and have to make stuffing towards the organization of those his planning, and he or she should be available there to lead. Moreover, his control and controlling capacity is very necessary in any of the organization. In a nutshell, all these five functions of a supervisor leads towards the good quality work, quality of the institution, quality of the production, quality of the efficiency, and reputation at large. What effective supervisors do is the balancing act. They make balance between goals of the organization as well as the needs of the work group. Because he stands in between of both of these, he have to work with his work group. He have to figure up their efficiency and have to make maximum production and increase the sale. So his duty is to balance both of these through conflict resolution of his team members. He or she have to pay for time off and give the training them. Through training, the production might be increased as well as sales of the institution also increases. In the set of educational system, increased sale means the good results of the students. Increased production means enhancement of the enrollment of that very much institution. Here you can see the whole day activity of a supervisor in that institution. He is in a small chunk of time training the workers, and at the same time he is assisting in hiring and firing activities to his management, providing them updates, providing them reports and activity updates to the management. Moreover, at the same time, he has to identify and resolve the conflicts at the workplace. Moreover, scheduling work hours and shifts is also his responsibility. So, whole the working day, he is involved thoroughly in all these activities that makes the functional and good working of the environment of that organization. You can see here median annual salary. For all this, to meet his personal needs and family needs, he need money. So he is paid for all these activities. Here is a model for different supervisory skills. In this model, you can see supervisor seek direction from the business and process these five processes and make his team, his workload efficient. What he is doing here, he is managing performance, managing relations, through trainings, developing the staff, organizing the work, and guiding the work. Why are supervisors' skills important? Supervisor skills are important because through his supervisory skills, he can set the tone of the workplace. If someone is a good supervisor, they can perform their job more efficiently and gain more respect from their peers and subordinates. If there is mismanagement, it is evident he or she has not supervisory skills. Then what happens? The organization loses. People lose confidence on him and he becomes a rolling stone between administration and his team. The second unit of today's component is supervising in a change environment. As far as change environment is concerned, supervisor must compete with all factors that affect their organization. The factors that affect the organization are of two types: external factors and internal factors. Here, external and if internal environment can be discussed in both of these factors. External environment, that is outside the organization, it is technology, economical status, political and social situation outside the organization. Definitely, it stimulates and causes the change. They have direct impact on the organization regarding their reputation, their results, their quality, their penetration in the society, their well-being. Second component is the internal environment. No doubt, internal environment has significant effect on the organization's management policies, styles, systems, procedures, and employee attitudes. These all prepare the environment of the organization that is known as the internal environment. If all these are up to mark, the organization is a learning and good organization. So to manage the change, supervisors state goals, make some specific measurable objectives, and also the time allotted. They establish who, how, what, and when of the change. They allocate the resources and budgets for evaluation of methods, plan for resistance management because due to change there might be the resistance among the work group. Therefore, this resistance have to be addressed. For this purpose, it is necessary for him to identify the support and resistance. So utilizing that support from his peers, his work group, his seniors, his management, he or she can resolve that resistance, can address the resistance. For this purpose, he have to make some certain plannings and establish the target dates for implementation. No doubt, an appropriate strategy development for alteration support the supervisors to manage the change. To evaluate the change, they modify if necessary. For supervisors, it is necessary to set all the goals and objectives according to the changing environment. पुराने नजरियात, पुरानी बातें, पुराने तरीकाकार, पुरानी मेथडोलॉजी, पुरानी सोच के साथ नए माहौल के साथ नहीं लड़ा जा सकता. So to meet the changed environment, the supervisors have to change their specifications because there are changes in the learning environment. The third component of this unit is solving problems and decision making. Let's define first what problem is. When problem is raised, the problem is raised only when there is something going wrong with the performing. The expected performing is not in practice, then there is a problem. And problem can be identified through taking certain necessary actions. So these certain necessary actions are taken to identify the problem, then it is solved. Therefore, through identifying, defining, exploring action, and through feedback, problem is solved. The first factor in problem solving is to identify, then to define and explore in detail the problem, take action, give remedy, and have a feedback. In the problem solving process, the major role is of cognition. अपनी अकल सोच समझ के मुताबिक यानी कॉग्निशन से स्टार्ट होगा प्रोसेस, थॉट से सोचा जाएगा कि इसके क्या क्या वजूहात बनी है ऐसा होने के, तो उनको एड्रेस किया जाएगा. So that's why mental approach and its utilization, the best capability of thought process, plays a vital role towards solving the problem. There are factors involved in solving problem. As earlier I discussed in the previous diagram, that first of all, supervisor have to identify the issues and then go for to understand everyone's interest, and he or she should list the possible solutions and options, then evaluate the available options and select one option out of the prevailing options, and then have to document it and agree on the contingencies. So situational changes, there should be some flexibility about to meet the changes and monitor them and evaluate. So this is the sole process towards solution of the problems. It's very necessary for supervisors to have some certain skills to solve the problem. Without equipping himself with the skills of problem solving, he or she cannot supervise in a better way. So it's fundamentally accepted that some sort of skills should be learned by the supervisors towards the solution that leads them towards the solution of the problems. So there are two things, two components that guide towards problem solving. One is skill, second is process. Skill sets in problem solving. What type of skills? Managing, making judgment, analytical skills, decision making, and collecting information and planning. So these are five components are the major features of skills. What are the requirements of problem solving? All these prevailing requirements plays positive role towards solving the problem, that is understanding of the content where the problem is, domain and dependent problem solving strategies, self-regulation according to, that is the cognition process, and then go for after metacognition, supervisor have to plan and to manage the self-monitoring accordingly. At the same time, there should be some motivation and efforts by adopting through self-efficacy. Then he or she will be able to solve the problems. If any of this requirement is missing, problem solving process will be weak. Process of problem solving comprised of the following cycle you can see in this diagram. First of all, the thing to do by the supervisor is to define that problem and then get data and information, analyze that data, develop suitable solutions, and select a single solution to implement and evaluate, and then again for definition. So it's a cyclic problem, cyclic process that leads towards the problem solving process. Let's discuss what the decision making is. Towards decision making, the first crucial component is the environment. To understand the environment, in such sort of environment, what type of decisions are needed to be made. And there are different prevailing decision making models. Those helps the supervisors to make decision, and supervisor can opt any of the prevailing model according to its need. Moreover, there are some decision making realities and theories. Authorities in decision making should also be kept in mind, and moreover, the factors that influence decision making also should be kept in mind. Moreover, there is the role of CCs, Let's discuss what are the CCs, 7 Cs. There is also decision-making theory, that is the classical decision-making theory and behavioral theory. Both of these theories leads the supervisor towards decision making. When we discuss about the classical decision making theory, here in it supervisor faces a clearly defined problem, knows all possible action alternatives and their consequences, and he or she have to choose the optimum alternative. It is often used as a model of how managers should make decisions. And earlier in the start, I discussed that educators, the people of different stages have to play a managerial role. Supervisors have to play a managerial role in the organization so they can use this model. As far as the behavior of human being is concerned, all this work is about the human nature and behavior that is a variable. So to manage these things, behavioral decision making theory can be opted here in this cognitive limitations. No doubt there is a specific and a certain level of understanding of the thing with any human being, and there is bounded rationality. No one has a far excellent rationality to think, to understand the things. So therefore, they have to behavioral decision maker also faces a problem that is not clearly defined. क्लासिकल में था वो वहाँ पे क्लियरली डिफाइंड होती हैं, यहाँ पे क्लियरली डिफाइंड नहीं होती प्रॉब्लम, और यहाँ पे लिमिटेड नॉलेज ऑफ पॉसिबल एक्शन अल्टरनेटिव्स एंड देयर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होता है, और फिर सेटिस्फैक्ट्री अल्टरनेटिव चूज करने होते हैं. The factors affecting decision making process are technology, culture and ethics. You know, technology time to time अपग्रेडेड हो रही है, चेंज हो रही है, चीज़ें उसमें नॉवेल्टी बहुत आ रही है, तो उनका इन्फ्लुएंस तो है with the passage of time. Moreover, some sort of decisions cannot be implemented taking into consideration the culture of the environment and the society. Similarly, ethically, sometimes some decisions are kept with hold and cannot be implemented. Here are 6 C's: construct, compile, collect, compare, consider, and commit. Going through these 6 C's, the decision maker make a decision in a better way. Thank you and Allah Hafiz. You are required to understand this, and when you are listening this, you might have written some questions. Now let's come on the Google Meet for discussions. It's open for discussion now.